GFA, Global Filipino Network.
VILMA, live in LA, Season 2, Episode 19. And welcome to VILMA Live in LA. So tonight on the show, we have CICERO Oka, who is the CEO of the On Talent, and he is based in New York. So it's just so interesting and amazing his journey from the Philippines onto New York and how he started the agency. Yep. So that and much more right here on our show. So let's get started. And I want to say hi to everybody out there watching VILMA Live in LA. You know who you are. You guys are my favorites. Yes, because you guys are awesome. So the show is dedicated to you. Enjoy it. And here is Out and About with VILMA in Los Angeles. And we do have a lot of fun. All right, everybody, welcome to VILMA Live in LA, and we are zooming over to New York. We have an amazing personality. So, on Q Talent, he is the CEO, Cicero Oka. Hi, and welcome.
Hi, VILMA. How are you? Oh my God, finally.
Yes.
Finally.
Yes, I've heard so much about you, Rosalie or Celine.
I hope it's all good. I hope it's all good.
Yes, I'm so happy that we get to talk and share with all of our audience your exciting endeavors. And how did you get into the talent management industry, especially New York? Walk us through your journey, and what was your first production?
My first production is actually No Limit Sangre, the musical. So it's the first by Ryan Seb, you have the national artist, and then John Arcelia, Audie Himara, and it was like I was in awe because it was like, wow, it's my first production. I'm working with this amazing talent, Irma Adlawan, and then the national artist now. So I'm like, wow, I'm so lucky. So like, even I was like, okay, literally, my parents were like, you're not gonna make money from that, but I just know that that's what I want to do. First production that I saw in high school, when I transferred from Laguna to Manila on my third year, I saw No Limit Tangere at the Opera House, at the Metropolitan Opera House with Tommy Albuel. I was at the nosebleed section. I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to be. That's what I want to do for work. But I was really shy. Like when I was growing up in the elementary, like, I was in the program. You're always like part of the dance group. I don't know, for some reason my teachers picked me like always in a production. It's like, okay, I think I'm different. So, but I actually didn't realize I was different then when I was like, I was just like having fun. So that's how I started my love for theater. So from then on, I worked with like seven seasons. I think in the span of like 7 to 8 years, I've worked in different productions, from musical to straight play, children's musical. What do you call this? What we did before, the artistic director Nonan Padilla, was like, I owe so much, because like without him, I will think it will be harder for me to keep up with Broadway, with what's happening here, because like, so after like 7 seasons in the CCP Cultural Center of the Philippines, I did stage manage ballet with the Philippine Ballet Theater. I did 2 productions, and then going in after that, I did live events. That's when I think live events started. They do in the malls. So what I will do is like I will hire my friends. Like, hey, I need singers. I need like musicians. Can you do this? But yes, and of course they will love it because it's extra. It's a gig, Back then, like it's hard to make a living as a theater actor. Now, like, oh my God, I'm really like so proud of what the theater community has done in the Philippines, because they can live off of like just being an actor, and that's unheard of during those times. In my time, yes, everybody will always like go to the movies. Of course, like in Broadway as well, it's like theater is always a stepping stone to film. So after that, after like doing this, after doing events, and then my friend Chidi Jesus, who's I'm going to be working with. I'm excited to be working in my show. What do you call this? He called me. It's like, hey, are you interested in working for on TV? It's like as a talent, as a casting, as one of the casting associates. It's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe I should try it, because like this one thing that I've never tried. So I did like internship in TV, but it's not the same. Like you were called like a board, like for the host. Like that's all I did basically. But it was just fun to see artists. But anyway, so my friend got me into the job, and that's how I met Rosalie, like Celine, what we call Nane Celine. That's how, oh my God, I was so scared of her. She was like so strict, and she was like a terror. But I learned so much from her, like how to build a show, from how to create an idea. What it's like to capture like the audience, like you're catering for an audience in this segment of the market, so you have to like create something like that, like a segment. So, like, who are the managers? Like, I have no contact. So the good friend, one of the casting associates, like, they all help me. Like, hey, these are the numbers. So of course, like, Philippines is big in pageant, right? So like this universe. So one of my good friends, Miss Jem Padilla, was like a Binibining Filipinas, he competed in Miss Universe in way back. So she's a stage actress. I was like, hey, can you help me out? Can you get in my show? And we had this segment. We had this segment of the show, and so I had to invite people, like guests, like famous people. So can you guess? So from then on, like I got connected to like the beauty queens. Like every time, like I need somebody, hey, can you guess? So I became like, oh, who's CICERO's guest? Beauty queens again. So when the show folded, when the show like had run its course, like that's the time when I had an opportunity to move to the U.S.
So, on arriving in the US, how did you start? How did you manage? And what did you have to do?
Like fresh off the boat, who will you approach? Like in a big city like New York, like my first job was a coffee shop as a barista because of a friend, and I cleaned apartments with I don't know. I think she's one of the daughter of the ex-Shah of Iran. Like, but it was an interesting story. It's Fifth Avenue. That was my first job, cleaning apartments, and then and working in a coffee shop and going to school, nursing school, which, oh my God. So after that, I got a chance to be into the casting. I was upset that my friends are not getting jobs. My friends are not getting seen because like they're good actors, but for some reason, where do you start? Where do you find an agent? Where do you find a manager? Like, who will you trust and you work with that will have your best interest? It's not easy, So for some reason, so I got into this industry by chance. So and then I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna put my own, and this is what I want to do. So I did my own research. My mom is my client, and she booked 3 jobs. She booked like 2 medical print ads and a commercial, and she goes on audition, and she was like, she's having a time of her life. So what I focused on was representing minorities.
Yeah.
I will go to workshops, and I will pick like the Asians, of course, like Filipinos, like Filipino Americans, Asian Americans, and then I also work with a lot of senior actors because I met one of my patients introduced me to this company of senior actors. What they do is they rent a space and they have a home and they don't invite. It's not for public. What they do is they do workshops. They rent their own place. They invite people to their work, and it was amazing. And these are from 50s to 90s. It's so challenging for me to work with them at the beginning of the online submission. Just because before everything was like paper fax, like, oh, submit to me, right? Now, when they started the online, it was a challenge for them. I worked with the first Filipino-American Hamilton, Mark de la Cruz. Before he became Hamilton, I worked with him. I represented for commercials, which he booked one, but because it's so hard to work with theater actors. This is what you have to understand with theater actors. Once you have a production, you're a contract for a year, right? You cannot do anything. It's so hard to get into commercials because your only day off is like Monday. And usually that's where the time is. So, but anyway, so I worked with him, and I'm at the software recently, and we're going to be working in the future. What do you call it? Moises Acevedo. He's Latino, he's Hispanic, and he booked a guesting role at the Netflix Daredevil. That was my first major booking. I was like, wow. At the end of the day, like, you have to be a talent. You have to be ready. Do you want it or do you want it? I have to go to an Actors Equity the auditions. Well, you see different. My God, I will see like have like almost close to 100 talents in 4 hours in a musical singing songs. Like I was like, wow, and so much talent. And I was like, we have so much catching up to do. There's so many Filipino Americans on Broadway just because like they did their work, and mine is like the grassroots level. You know, I've seen Filipino communities like performances. You know, the Miss Philadelphia now. Miss Philadelphia is Filipino American, and she's my talent. I've nurtured him from she was in high school. I go to her productions all the time. Like, hey sister, I have like a show, and I will go to Philadelphia. You know, seeing these kids performing for the local community. Whenever, like for example, Martin Rivera will be like having a concert, Regine Velasquez, Rachel Alejandro, if they will have a concert, like you know, always like there's always like a Filipina, like a community, like kids will perform as a front act, and now like and to see them like blossom to like it's just wonderful. You know, it's a wonderful feeling. Yeah.
It's really, it's a labor of love, but then at the same time, it's something doing what you love, and then, you get paid for it.
You find your tribe. You know, like this episode said, find your tribe. You know.
Yeah. Hey, aren't you gonna have a show on the GFN channel?
Yes, and I'm so excited. It's been like, oh my God, my producer Rosalie will be like, this is like a year, like years in the making. But I think, like you said, like timing is everything. Like for anything, for me, like this is time for me. So our show is premiering the premiere is on June 10th, and we have Miss Rachel Alejandro and some wonderful guests. And yes, and I'm excited. It's like I'm gonna have like a 14-episode show, which is like I'm so nervous because like this is my first time doing it. I have a stage fright.
Oh, you're perfect. So it's gonna be called Kabayan, New York. Is that correct?
No, it's gonna be Go Pinoy with Cicero.
Oh, Go Pinoy with
Go Pinoy, yes. It's gonna be Go.
Cicero Oka.
Cicero, okay, yes.
Nice. It has a ring to it of love.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, and like so funny is like when he's like, oh, you're Asian? I thought you're Italian.
Yeah, sometimes they can't figure me out either. How many actors do you represent now?
Well, because of COVID, a lot of actors left New York. So now I'm building process now. I have a magician, he's Apollo Riego. He's amazing. I have 10, like less than 10 Filipino Americans, and like I'm bringing back the models again because like after COVID it's challenging. Like up to now, it's still challenging to get people in, like to get to, and even the casting is still online.
It's the same here in Los Angeles. My friend, he just started filming again, and for a while nobody was doing anything, and everything is online. Everybody has to have a COVID test a day before the filming, the shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and they're carding out here. My God, I just got carded in a bar. Not for that reason. But it's actually fun because like you feel safer, you feel like comfortable. You know, although there's still social distancing, but I mean New York. I mean you're in California.
I'm in LA, yeah, Los Angeles.
LA, I think you have more percentage of getting vaccinated people than New York.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So, what else would you like to share with us?
I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about what's going to happen and what's happening in the entertainment industry. We have to be more out there. We have to represent because we're such a talented people. And we're loving people. Everybody loves Filipino. Who doesn't love Filipino? Like, hello. Like, seriously. Who doesn't love Filipinos? Everywhere. Everywhere you go, oh, Filipino, oh, Filipino. You always people always smile when they find out you're Filipino. So, that's our gift. That's our gift, yes. And I'm also excited for the new leadership in our consulate here in New York, Consul General Cato. Oh my God, we're excited to work with you and to be part of your dreams, of your plans, and hopefully will help more Filipino Americans, and not just Filipino Americans here, but also everywhere.
Yes, great. And thank you so much, Cicero Oka, for being on our show. And we look forward to all these amazing projects you have. So thank you so much.
Oh my God, you're very welcome. And I hope this is not the last time. And I hope I'll see you again sooner than later, okay? Promise?
Pinky promise.
Yes, pinky promise, yes, pinky promise.
GFA Global Filipino Network.
My music, my social media. Here you go. Find me on YouTube Music and Facebook, also Instagram, Reverb Nation, Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, and all the streaming platforms. Vilma D. Ramos on YouTube, Vilma Live in LA on Instagram. Also, my Spotify is Vilma D. Ramos. My website on Reverb Nation, Vilma D. Ramos. YouTube Music, you got it, Vilma D. Ramos. My website is vilma.me. And thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for being here with me on Vilma 11 LA on the DFN channel. And of course, not forgetting Facebook Live and YouTube Live. You guys have been amazing. You're wonderful. And as always, we do the show for you. From my heart to yours. Love you guys. Here it is. And here are my bloopers. Time for a laugh. And here's On and About with Vilma in Los Angeles. And here's our hellos. We also have our community events and a lot of good stuff for you. And here's Nanette Tenza O'Malley, amazing artist. I love the way she plays the piano, and I love her vocals. Just beautiful, just wonderful. So here is Nanette Tenza O'Malley.
I see you in the trees and in its falling leaves, when they turn from green to gold. I see you in the changing seasons, when we go from brown to snow. You're in the ceiling of a flower, when it sprouts from the ground. You are a tiny bird that breaks out of its shell to make those lovely, lovely sounds. You're in the light of the sun and the moon to be seen every day. You're in the sound of the morning wind as the sky turns blue. You're in the colors on the sunset inside every you. You're everywhere. You're everywhere. Everywhere. In the innocence of a child, where everything is pure. Everything is pure. I see the light within their souls. The light I found in you, that shines so bright and true. With you there is no need for more. You're in the light of the sun and moon to be seen every day. You're in the sound of the morning winds, the sky turns blue. You're in the colors of the sunset inside every you. You're everywhere. Chasing every soul, you're in the sun, you're morning wind as the sky turns blue. You're in the colors of a sunset inside every you dream. You're everywhere, everywhere. You're in the light of the sun, of the moon, chasing every soul. You're in the sun, you're morning wind as the sky turns blue. You're in the colors of a sunset inside every you. You're everywhere,
If I spoke of violence, would you listen? If I sang of the broken, would it capture your heart? If I wrote of all the things we take for granted, but only value when they're torn apart, would you feel the pain? Would you turn up my sound? Or would you shut me down and drown me out? backyard if I left the country, commented from afar if I didn't live there, but still was scarred. Would my voice make a difference? And would you feel the pain? Would you turn up my sound? Or would you shut me down and drown me out? Turn off the airwaves, shut down transmissions, be like the three monkeys. Turn off the airwaves, shut down transmissions, hide like the three monkeys. But in the forest, if the trees still fall and the air gets stale, will that be all? Will that be all? If I stop speaking, would you love me more? Would my views be valid if I move next door? Should I speak out or simply shut my mouth? Choose an easy peace over right and justice. And would you feel the pain? And would you turn up my sound? Or would you shut me down and drown me out? And drown me out. Ooh, and drown me out. And drown me out.
Wow, such a beautiful message. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Global Filipino Network.
Sammy, is the volume okay? In the desert, parched and dry, sandstone bullets blind my eyes. Curled up small, I pray for calm, the way I feel when in your arms. I can feel you watching me. That's all it takes for me to know I have the strength to weather this, and I dare the winds to blow. You saw the stars in my eyes, you saw the dreams in my heart, you saw right through my disguise, you were my guide in the dark. You saw the stars in my eyes, you were my light in the cloud, made me believe in myself so I could see through the fog. Volcanic ashes rain down, red lava spits up from the ground. The earth crumbles unto itself, the heavens crash, black holes are born. Yet through destruction and disaster, the unkindness of what must be
back and forth, but your bruises never show.